Whoops. Okay, everybody, welcome to the Magic in the Midwest podcast.
Yikes.
Podcast number 2.
Ooh.
Podcast number 2. This is, I am J.B. Michaels, USA Today bestselling author. And this is my wife, Ashley Michaels. Hello, Ash.
Hello, everyone.
How are you doing today?
I am wonderful. And yourself?
I am doing great. I'm doing great. This podcast is brought to you by the works of J.B. Michaels, which can all be found on harrisonandjamespublishing.com and amazon.com or everywhere books are sold. Anyway, so also be sure to check us out on Bandcamp, on what else? Bandcamp, Facebook, Gmail.
Yeah.
Drop us a line. We'll go over all of that
Instagram.
stuff. Yeah, you know.
Twitter, we don't have set up yet.
Right.
May never do it.
Right.
Depends.
Maybe. I mean, I've got a Twitter myself.
I don't want it to be associated with your personal...
Right. So remember, for exclusive episodes, go to magicinthemidwestpodcast.bandcamp.com. The first SmackDown is up there. We did a special attraction SmackDown episode based on Splash Mountain versus Space Mountain.
And it was funny.
It was really fun.
Talk about my love for damp rocks.
Right. So
you are missing out if you don't check it out.
Yes. So please check that out. Subscribe. Help support the podcast. And we got another great attraction SmackDown lined up for you on Bandcamp as well. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, today we thought what would be the best way to do this podcast. Now, we have lots of different, there's so much to do, there's so much to see, there's so much to experience at Walt Disney World. We thought that it would be pretty amazing if we did something kind of stuck with the most famous park first, right?
Yep.
Which is
Magic Kingdom.
Yes, correct. Magic Kingdom. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little land by land analysis, and the first land is Tomorrowland.
I think it's an analysis.
An analysis. We're
doesn't
going to go a dig deep analysis.
That doesn't sound fun.
Of
It's a discussion.
the podcast.
Casual.
Yes, a casual discussion. Okay. Of course, this is just a fun podcast of us talking. Okay, so Tomorrowland in the Magic Kingdom, which for a very long time, upon observation of the morning crowds for a very long time, Tomorrowland was the place people would go to immediately. But that is no longer the case.
It definitely is not.
Because now they go to other parts of the park. They go directly to Fantasyland to try and get on
Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, yes. So there used to be this huge flux of people that would go right when you walked in. They would go up Main Street and to the right over the Tomorrowland Bridge right into Tomorrowland. That doesn't really happen as much anymore, I feel.
Yeah.
That's going to change in the future because they're currently building the Tron coaster.
Yeah, I'm super pumped for that.
The Tron Light Cycle coaster, which of course they will get to that, and then everybody will probably be going that way again.
When is that supposed to? 2021?
Well, yeah, 2021.
I mean, right.
We'll
Theoretically.
see. Everything is quite delayed right now as
Yeah.
of this recording.
Everything's up in the air.
Yeah, everything's up in the air. All the construction has been stopped. So
Opening of the park, construction,
Right.
our marriage, everything's up in the air.
Wait a minute. What do you mean our marriage? No. Okay, sorry. Anyway, the D papers are still on the...
I don't like the
D
the
papers.
D papers.
The divorce
That
papers.
sounds-
You're right.
I don't
Sounds
know.
strange.
People
Okay.
might-
All right. So Tomorrowland. What's the point of Tomorrowland?
Don't ask me questions like that on the spot.
Why?
Because I don't
Well, what do you think it's supposed to be?
It's supposed to represent the future.
Yeah, I guess, right. There's supposed to be a futurist part of the park, which, you have to think about the origin of Disneyland, right? 1955 is when this opened. Disneyland opened, and they had a Tomorrowland. Walt was somewhat of a futurist, always thinking about what would happen. The space race was happening, in the 50s and the 60s, right? So you have this era, this area of the park dedicated to what the future would be like, and different things that might look like. So what we're going to do is sort of look at, first off, let's just give our overall thoughts and opinions on the land itself. Okay, so like when you walk into the land, how do you feel? What's it like? What just give me your thoughts and opinions on Tomorrowland.
Sure. I feel. I mean, to be honest, we were just talking about this before we started recording, that we spend the least amount of time in Tomorrowland out of all the lands in Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
And by the time we get over there, because we definitely don't go that way. We go the other way to Adventureland.
We usually go to Adventureland.
Make our way around.
Or Liberty Square first.
Obviously, depending on fast passes and all that. But I always think of Tomorrowland. We're usually there at night. And I kind of think about Space Mountain and the People Mover. And that's kind of the extent of... And Carousel of Progress.
Why are we usually there at night?
Because we usually go to Adventureland first. And then we kind of make our way around. And we used to have this spot on that bridge to Tomorrowland where we would watch the fireworks.
Yeah.
But that's before they changed the fireworks show to have those projections on the castle. Because obviously, that spot wouldn't be great to watch fireworks and projections from now.
Right.
Yeah, but, we haven't... I just don't feel like we spend that much time over there, which is strange. We never really eat over there.
No.
We don't really chill over there.
To be honest, there isn't many places to eat. Although, this is bizarre, and it doesn't really count for us. But the most popular fast food restaurant in America is in Tomorrowland.
I mean, do you just think that's because of what they offer and...
The most popular, it's just American, it's fast food, it's burgers.
And it's huge.
That is, it's been known that is the most popular daily fast food restaurant.
It's crazy.
More people go in that restaurant in America.
I haven't heard great things about the restaurant.
If that fast food. Yeah, we've never heard great things. It's kind of the basic, bland... not that there's like there is a Disney burger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's like really good burgers on property, but then there's also this other type of burger that sometimes you get that doesn't taste super
I guess you
great.
Think about if it's the biggest and serves the most, you're thinking about capacity and how quickly you can produce things.
Just get a bunch of food out.
And if it continues to be busy, from a numbers perspective, why change?
Now,
that's a terrible point of view, but...
What we're talking about is Cosmic Ray's Starlight Cafe, which is cool because, in a way, it's neat because there is an animatronic inside of it. I mean, so you do have Cosmic Ray playing the piano and all this stuff, inside of it. So there's, a show element to it. But really, it's, it's nothing spectacular. But, as far as dining options in Tomorrowland, there really isn't, So that's right. That's probably another reason why we're not really there.
Yeah, you know what? For me, honestly, and I love Space Mountain. I do. I also love Carousel of Progress, and I'm in the minority. I'm sure when I say I love the People Mover, I just like it.
Yeah.
But, and I know you'll disagree, none of those rides for me, even the rides that I like there, that are in my top tier, do I love the queue. I don't need Space Mountain queue. I think it's okay-ish.
Right.
The land...
Wow, I love the Space Mountain queue.
And I love the ride. The land itself, though, for me, it doesn't... I mean, it's Disney, so I love it, but it pulls the least at my heartstrings.
Right.
I mean, I totally enjoy being in there, but I would never pick to go there to eat or for a specific queue or just to chill over other parts of the park.
Seems like this, when we go through, which we haven't yet, but when we go through the rest, seems like this might be your least favorite land. I just get the feel that might be the case. I don't know.
I don't know. I also feel like because of the age of our son, and because one of the main attractions is Space Mountain, and he's 5, we don't spend a lot of time in that land.
So what do you think of the overall aesthetic, like the look of it? You know, it's got a lot of steel, and at night it's a lot more neon.
The concept is cool.
Yeah.
But I also think it's, you know, like you said, either the 1950s or 1970 version of a futuristic. You know, it seems a little outdated.
Right.
I mean, I'm being harsh, but I'm, being honest.
Well, but I mean, I think it's supposed to be, in a way, like the future of the past, the future that never was. I think is
well, right. And one thing I want to say too is that, obviously it's just a product of what it's supposed to be. So just like Future World, you know, these two things are going to age differently than Adventureland.
Yeah,
like that's just the reality of what they are.
Right. So I think too, like just recently they redid the sign, the entry, the archway from the archway. I don't know why it sounded like that. Of the archway from the Tomorrowland Bridge, from the center hub. So it's more like cleaner. It's just Tomorrowland, whereas before...
Was it that way when we were there?
No, before it was like it was much more like Art Deco, like kind of stylized with steel girders and like an Art Deco type font. Whereas now it's not really like that. It's more simple and white, and the rocks are now blue around it. Mm-hmm. Like there's
I do want to add one thing though.
Rocks, yeah.
When you're done.
Yeah.
I do feel like, and maybe it's just the way I'm remembering it, in Tomorrowland, there seems to be more kind of open spaces. Like it's not so, sometimes in like different parts of the Magic Kingdom, like so crowded and congested.
Right.
There's kind of space to branch out. They have that one area where they do
the
like
dancing.
The kids can dance.
The dance shows, and
there's like a bathroom way off, like in the distance. Kind of, there's some open spaces back by the People Mover and Space Mountain where there's room. To move.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, I like that actually. Yeah, there is. It is a high volume area of the park. I mean, you can fit a lot of people over there.
Yeah,
really
and the thought of having like a slushie or something at dusk and just sort of chilling over there before the fireworks does sound appealing to me.
And it's interesting if you're ever on the monorail. Okay, if you look on, so if you're on the monorail, you're coming from Grand Floridian. If you look at the park, from the Adventureland side, okay. So if you're looking at the castle to the left of the castle, okay, there's nothing but trees and the Jungle Cruise is back there, but you wouldn't be able to tell. Whereas if you look on the right side of the castle, what sticks out? What sticks out on the right side?
Oh, Space Mountain.
Space Mountain.
Yeah.
Because it actually is beyond the border of the original park.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually built it outside of the perimeter that they wanted to stay in.
Yeah.
But so that's why like Space Mountain juts out like on its own.
Which is probably why there's that space that I'm talking about.
Right. And now, which is weird because they're putting Tron like right next to Space Mountain on the other side. Like they're putting both Space Mountain and Tron like almost right next to each other.
Well, and everyone thought that they were going to get rid of Tomorrowland Speedway. That would be the only way that they would have room, but they're not.
No, they're having another expansion pad beyond Tomorrowland Speedway.
If they got rid of that, I wouldn't shed any tears.
Right. I think that they keep that.
It's the worst.
It's just for kids.
I know.
It's for little guys.
It's not for me, but
like our son, who doesn't seem to care about it. Either way. So for me, Tomorrowland is, especially since, I don't know, I've always associated Tomorrowland with, just being sort of crammed and crowded. Like, I just feel like it's always crowded. I mean, everywhere in Magic Kingdom is crowded.
It is.
But I just don't, for some reason, feel that way about Adventureland. Like, I just don't feel like it's...
Well, I do. That magic carpet ride.
That really juts everything out.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
If that wasn't there, I would feel differently. I do have to say, though, I mean, we'll get to this later, but I feel like you see the least amount of strollers at Tomorrowland.
Yeah, you
which
don't
is
have
appealing.
a lot of strollers. There is that spot around the center area, but... Okay, so Tomorrowland, for me, overview, like, the feeling of Tomorrowland. I really like Tomorrowland. But... like I said, like you said, we just don't spend a lot of time there. Usually we hit Space Mountain. Now the people mover, since you like it so much. And then we love Carousel of Progress. But it's weird because Carousel of Progress, Carousel of Progress shows how deep Tomorrowland is. Like, it's way back in a corner.
Yep.
That usually no one's by.
Yep.
So, which I hope that they never get rid of it, but you never know. Because that's an original 1964, World's Fair. Walt was all over that attraction, and I hope they never get rid of it.
I agree.
It's perfect for Tomorrowland. It really is.
It is.
Now, why don't we go step by, let's go attraction by attraction, give our thoughts, quick thoughts. Okay. Astro Orbiter, what do you think?
I've actually never been on that ride.
Okay.
So way to go.
Okay,
Never get me on that ride.
Well, what's cool about Astro Orbiter is how high up you are. Like, it's cool because when you're on the ride, you're up high, you can see the whole
Can you go
park.
on it when you're little? Like, could Harrison
Yeah.
go on it?
Yes.
It's for kids.
It's for kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
All right, so what do you think about Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger spin?
You know what? It's not my favorite, but I definitely see the appeal for kids and people that like Toy Story and stuff like that. It's a fun shooting game
gallery.
And,
Yeah.
And to see Buzz in the queue is cool.
Yeah.
I wish they didn't have carpet in there. It kind of smells.
Kind of smelly.
The carpet?
Is it? Yeah.
Maybe I'm remembering that wrong. I
don't
always
remember
feel
there
like
being
it
carpet.
smells by Buzz.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess.
Write in, guys. Let us know if it's carpet.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
Magic
it's
in the
carpet.
Midwest podcast at gmail.com, or just, comment on our Facebook group. Yeah. Okay. So what would you give Space Ranger Spin? I mean, what do you think? Is it
like for me personally, like a 6, maybe?
like a 6 out of 10?
Like,
Yeah.
that's if I'm being generous. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Now we should save the ratings, I guess, for another time. But so you're not super keen on Buzz?
I could go the rest of my life without ever going on that.
Really?
Again. Yes.
Okay.
There's other shooting games that I would rather do.
Yeah. When that came out, when that initially launched, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, people lost their minds. Like, everybody was super excited about it. Like, it was just a big deal.
No, I get it.
I remember it being a big deal.
I do get it. I do.
Yeah.
It's just not my favorite.
Okay. I personally, I love Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. I just think it's a fun, different type of attraction that, you feel like you're a Space Ranger. It's chintzy and fun and just goofy amusement park fun. Like, it's not super high tech.
It's
You know
not,
what I
but you know
mean?
what? For me, it's mathematical. Like, when I play, I want to shoot the target, and I can never tell where my laser beam is at, and I don't like
Yeah.
that. I cannot tell where it is. Like, where's my red dot?
That's true. It's hard to
What's
tell.
the other one in the other one that I went
Where's
on
my red dot?
Toy Story Mania?
Yeah.
Like, that's, you know what you're shooting
You can
at.
see. Yeah, you can see what
You
you're
know,
shooting at. Yeah.
I always get a really low score on Buzz Lightyear.
Although
And I'm like, well, I don't know why. Where's my red dot?
I'll be honest, I do prefer Buzz over Midway Mania, only because I like that there's practical effects
Yeah.
in Buzz. Like, it's practical stuff you're shooting at, whereas Midway Mania is all screens. So that's
Yeah, I
one
get
thing
it.
I do like more over Buzz over Midway Mania. So I like Buzz a lot. All right, so what about Carousel of Progress?
I love it. I think it's amazing. It never needs to be changed. I don't care if the last scene is outdated. I love it.
Right. If you've never heard of Carousel of Progress, you probably haven't, because it's tucked in a corner.
I don't know. Most of our listeners are probably...
Hopefully you have. Hopefully you
Most
have.
of our 3 listeners probably know me, you, and whoever else.
If you are a fan and you love Disney, classic Disney, and like Disney that was from the 20th century, mid 20th century Disney, this is just awesome. It's just perfect. It's just a wonderful artifact of Walt Disney. He was alive, and all those, all the original Imagineers.
One from another perspective, there's never really a long wait, and it's air conditioned.
Yes.
You sit down.
Yeah. Air conditioned, you chill, you sit down.
It's a great song in there.
It's really good.
Great little tune.
Yeah. They need to, make sure it keeps getting refurbished. Sometimes the animatronics don't move, but they have to fix that. So, all right, what do you think of Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor?
It's my least
hit.
favorite.
Least favorite. It's just for the little kids, I guess, right?
Yeah, I'm not
just a
huge
show.
on audience participation.
Okay.
Don't like that. And I just don't really think it's super funny, but I do understand the appeal. Again, inside, air conditioned. It's a cute show. It's not my favorite, but it's there.
Yeah. Okay. It's there. I Laugh Floor to me is probably needed. You know what I mean? Like, it does take a lot of capacity.
Yep.
And Stitch's Great Escape isn't always open. So, like, there needs to be a place for a lot of people to go, especially kids. Actually, if you think about it, there's not a whole lot for little kids in Tomorrowland.
Well, and I agree, and that's probably why we haven't spent a lot of time in that land recently. But at the same time, would I ever wait 45 minutes for Laugh Floor? No.
Well, okay, so if you don't know, Laugh Floor is all Monsters, Inc. Characters.
And I love Monsters, Inc.
But it's cool. It's like an animated... it's a show. It's more of just a passive show, but it's an interactive show. The kids can tell jokes and laugh and talk to the characters, and they make jokes and they riff off of it. It's sort of like Turtle Talk with Crush in Epcot, only with Monsters, Inc. characters. It's fun. I mean, I think it's cute. It
is. For some reason, I enjoy Turtle Talk so much more. I don't know why.
So you would prefer if there were a Monsters, Inc. door attraction riding the doors?
Yes, I think that a coaster, indoor coaster, would be great.
Yeah.
But they already have an indoor coaster there, so
they do. All right. Okay, so what about Stitch's Great Escape?
I only did it one time, I think.
Yeah, you did.
And I mean, I liked it. It was,
cute.
Yeah. It was a little scary. I mean, I know it was nothing like it was before, but it's different.
Yeah. Okay, so
I don't really remember it a lot, to be honest.
Stitch's Great Escape is, yet again, it's another show, but it's more of an interactive show. It's weird. You get in this circular auditorium, and there's these like things that sit on your shoulder,
like a harness.
The speakers,
like would,
yeah, but you don't like pull it over yourself. It just sits there, really.
Yeah.
And all these things happen. Stitch burps a hot dog burp or chili dog burp or something in your mouth. Like it used to be absolutely awesome.
I think it should be what it was before.
It used to be.
I know I'm going to tick off people by saying that and never experiencing that, but I think, it's okay to have rides that are scary to little kids.
Yeah.
You just don't go on.
I like that Stitch is represented with an attraction, but I also think they could have done something else with Stitch. But originally, this experience was the alien encounter extra terrestrial.
Yeah.
Holy cow! Like my sister Emily could not handle that experience. She could not handle it. She hated it.
Well, that's fine, but I think it's still okay to have an attraction like that. That's. Offers more of a thrill for a certain audience.
Yeah.
I think it's because it was in Magic Kingdom.
Michael Eisner wanted to actually have Alien, like the movie Alien.
Awesome.
Like he wanted, because he was a film exec before, he actually wanted Alien to be that attraction. Like, we would be on the Nostromo.
Well,
And
yeah, I
the
mean, you
alien,
can tell.
like,
that
yeah,
sort of,
yeah, it was
yeah.
basically that. But man, what an incredible, scary, really neat experience to have in Magic Kingdom.
I can't even imagine what that would have been like, because even on Great Movie Ride, which is a very tame ride that just went away recently. The alien part of that, I always was like, does it come from the ceiling or the side? Like, I was always sort of crouching over because Alien in itself.
Yeah,
you're
it's
on, like,
super
this very slow
suspenseful
movie.
and scary.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah. I loved that part of the Great Movie Ride. Ah, R.I.P.
You just loved watching me freak out about Alien.
Well, that was fun, but also just I love the narrator in that section of the Great Movie Ride. Aboard the spaceship Nostromo. Like, it was just so cool. Oh my gosh. And then you heard that and then like and then like Ripley standing and then like doing this thing with her head going
Does
back and
the
forth.
alien come out of two different places?
Yeah,
like
it does.
It can go either from the top or from the
Yeah,
side.
yes.
Right?
Yes. So that never happened. They never got the actual license for Alien, so they call it Alien Encounter, extraterrestrial. And man, what a cool attraction.
So if you could change it back, you would.
Absolutely, in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I mean, in a way, it's more intense than going through a Horror Nights maze because you're not walking. Mm-hmm. You're stuck in it. You're just sitting in a room with this scary alien that's like hopping around you and like drooling on you.
And you feel like it's breathing.
So cool. So anyway, Stitch's Great Escape is cute. I could bypass it. Like, if it's not open, I don't really care.
I just feel like you can also tell, though, that it's not what the original intention was. Like, they're taking this sort of scary setup and putting something else in there and trying to make it work, and it kind of does, but not. These two things don't match, right?
Right. The animatronic is great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, the animatronic Stitch is really cool. He's really well done.
Without you even telling me about what used to be in that attraction, because I never was on Alien Encounter or whatever.
Yeah.
When I walked in there, I was like, this looks like it's supposed to be
scary.
Really scary.
Yeah. It's all black and dark in there. Mm-hmm. And, oh, man, it's really awesome. It's really, really awesome. It was really awesome. Now it's not so much. And they don't even, I'll be honest, Disney doesn't even keep the attraction open. Yeah. It's like a seasonal attraction. It'll only open if like the Magic Kingdom's at capacity or nearing capacity, and then they open it up to flood more people into it. But yeah, so, all right, we already talked about Tomorrowland Speedway. Not much to say about that. The only cool thing about Tomorrowland Speedway is one of the turns, you get a look at the Contemporary, which is cool. You look at the Contemporary Resort.
Just walk over there and look at it.
But
look at it.
It's only
stupid car.
So yeah, I
think some of the cars are better than others. I've had not great.
Yeah, I haven't had great cars either.
They're really uncomfortable and.
Yeah.
Won't move and.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah. So, okay, and now two more attractions to go. The Tomorrowland Transit Authority, a.k.a. the People Mover.
I love the People Mover. I do. It's a long attraction?
Yeah.
Is it an attraction?
Yes,
right?
absolutely. Okay. It's a ride and it's an attraction. Yeah, absolutely. I think it counts as both.
And you go through Space Mountain and Buzz Lightyear and... I don't know what else you go through, like a gift shop or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just sort of like that you're...
Yeah, go ahead.
You're, elevated. You're up high, and you can see the castle, and you have a view of the people below you. And it's sort of like, for me, it feels like a behind-the-scenes break, and it goes for a long time.
It really, it is.
And you're just moving. I don't know. I really enjoy it. I think a lot of people are more aware of it now, though, because the last few times we've been over there, there's like a 45-minute wait.
And I think it's because of people like us. It's podcasters. I think a lot of podcasters have, and people that go to Disney, podcasters have championed this ride. Because, now it sort of has lines. And before it wasn't super, like, you could get on that ride.
And you could
within
stay
a few
on
minutes.
it.
Yeah.
Because no one was waiting in line.
Right. But now I think for some reason, I don't know, as kids have grown up, maybe kids who liked it when they were little now really like it. And telling more people about it. It's not. It actually moves pretty quick too.
It does. And, because you go into Space Mountain, you go into the dark sometimes, and you can hear the people on Space Mountain screaming.
Right,
and I mean, it's just cool.
Yeah, it is. It's a neat. It's. I'll be honest. If you go to Tomorrowland, you got to try the People Mover, because actually that might sway your opinion of Tomorrowland. Some people go on the People Mover and they love Tomorrowland because of it. It's neat, and you could actually see the attraction. It's like built into the land, which is neat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you look up and there's the People Mover.
Yeah, I don't know. I like it, and I imagine if you're someone that gets to go to Disney often enough that you don't have to watch the, fireworks show with all the projections, it would be cool to time it that you could have the fireworks going off and be on the People Mover.
Right.
Too,
Yeah, it's a good one. So yeah, we both like the People Mover. Okay, and then last and certainly not least, the marquee attraction of Tomorrowland, Space Mountain.
I mean, it's awesome.
As if Ric Flair said, it's the oldest ride in the park, but it still has the longest lines. Just like he is. It's so gross. But anyway.
It does have a really long line.
It does. So, thoughts on Space?
It's super fun. I love it. I could go on it again and again.
Yeah.
I'm excited for when Harrison can go on it. We've talked about this before, but I think because it's in the dark, it's one of those rides that you can't really memorize.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool for people that return all the time.
Yeah.
It has this draw. And I don't know. I always have a ton of fun on that ride.
Yeah.
Always. The queue is fine. I mean, it's just not, I don't care about those games, and
it's funny.
It's just me. It's just me. I'd rather just sit back, and I like that it's in
the dark.
In the dark.
It's like blue lights, very calming in there.
But to me, it's nothing that I'm really interested in looking at. To me, it feels like I'm in a line at Great America.
Well, okay. I think I know what you mean. Okay, so, all right. So that first corridor, that long corridor that maybe twists a little bit.
That's actually what I'm thinking about.
That's what I'm thinking about. I like that part. It's when you get up and you choose which side to go on, then it becomes more Great America to me. Like, it's a lot of turnstiles, and you remember you have to go like behind that wall.
No, but see, I like that part better.
Really?
Because you can kind of see the ride.
Oh.
Okay. People are getting on the ride, so it doesn't even feel like you're waiting because you're like, oh, there's
you're looking
another
at
car,
kids freaking out.
When you're in the long, hallway part, I'm just sort of like, I don't care about any of the stuff on the wall.
Okay.
But that's just because of my interests.
Right. Okay.
I know they
it's funny,
added
we're
some
exactly
sort of
opposite
interactive games, but none of
Yeah.
that interests me. Like, I don't even love designing the test track car. I'm just sort of like, when it pulls up, it's blue, so I don't care.
Yeah, it's not really your car. Yeah, Harrison was confused last time. He was like, wait a minute, where's my car?
Yeah, he thought that the
actual car was coming
I mean, I get it for the test, but I mean, I just,
Yeah.
I mean, it's super cool and interactive, that the test track thing. It's just, I don't need it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's
just my personality. I'm glad they have it. I think
so interactive stuff in lines you don't care about. That's been established.
I don't want to make a blanket statement.
Okay.
But usually no.
Okay. So, but overall, your Space Mountain, the ride itself, not the queue.
Amazing.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how...
We don't get to go on it that often. And in the last few years, we haven't gone on it a lot.
I don't know how you... Now, there's a lot of debate. There are a lot of people that think that Space Mountain in Disneyland far eclipses Space Mountain in Magic Kingdom Park in Disney World.
I can't speak to that.
There is big differences. There's Magic Kingdom's Space Mountain is... you sit in single file. You know what I mean? Whereas in Space Mountain Disneyland, you're sitting by twos. Mm-hmm. So it's a little bit bigger of a track and a little smoother. I would say it's probably smoother, but I don't know. I think
the not smoothest lends itself to the attraction.
Yes, yeah.
Because you're just getting whipped around.
Yeah, it's a Wild Mouse type coaster, which I talked about in the past.
You do feel like you're gonna fly out a little bit.
You do, and you're spinning around, and oh my gosh, it's just so fun. It's just
is.
it's just so fun. It's like you get off that ride, you're like, wow, that was so.
And you know what? There's something
Yeah.
about that attraction because Rock and Roller Coaster is another roller coaster in the dark, and Everest also has parts in the dark too. But
Yeah.
something about that ride, the other two attractions I just mentioned, I feel like I can feel the track beneath me.
Yeah.
You know, I can kind of sense where we're going no
Right,
matter what.
right.
I don't, Space Mountain, I feel like there's all these little dips and,
Yeah,
you just, like, all of a
sometimes
sudden
you
you're just
don't
like,
know.
You fly to the
Right,
left or
right.
right, and no matter how many times we've been on it, I'm always
Yeah,
surprised.
screaming
Like, I
and-
think we're going to go to the right and we just go straight down.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I know we're only going like 35 miles an hour, but
Yeah.
it's awesome.
It's still, yeah, it's the slowest coaster. It's the
Yeah.
I think it's the slowest coaster at Disney, which is
Well, what
crazy.
about Big Thunder? Is that faster?
I think Big Thunder is faster.
I thought it
If I'm
said
not
it-
mistaken.
Remember when we were watching it, it goes
You're right.
30.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. Although he might be wrong. I don't know. We'll have to see.
I could be right.
Wait,
I could
we're
be wrong.
gonna check our sources on this. We'll get back to you, Saps. Okay. Anyway, so so Space Mountain obviously for me is one of my favorite rides, and I also don't mind getting dumped out into that souvenir shop.
Yeah, I'll
And
tolerate it.
I've never bought a Space Mountain shirt, but I like looking at the Space Mountain shirts, even though I don't buy one. Isn't that weird? Like I want to look at the Space Mountain shirt.
I actually don't mind that store. And maybe it's every time I've been in that store, and I swear every time we get off that ride, it's nighttime. I don't
Yeah.
know if I've ever gotten off that ride and it's
It was
the middle
daytime.
of the day.
Yeah,
And I love, I could go into the parks only at evening. That's just me.
Yeah.
I like evening
it's a
in the
different
parks.
it's a different magic at night. It is.
but
It is.
I love being in that store and having the humid air just
Yeah,
outside
hit you.
the doors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've taken shelter during afternoon rainstorms in that store.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the whole fam has, and because it's a good spot to take some shelter. But yeah, Space Mountain is just so cool, and if you really think about it, it's a very generic name,
It is.
Space Mountain. But you think Disney, like you think, but it's the most generic name ever. Like, other rides are so much more like Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, right?
Yeah.
Is very specific. Like, it's got a cool name. Versus this is just Space Mountain. And I guess you could argue the same thing for Splash, right? It's just Splash Space.
Yeah, but do you feel like that's why they did that?
Maybe. Oh yeah. Afterwards, yes. After they built Space, and then
These are the mountains, right?
yeah, the mountain range, right, of MK, which is
Yeah.
cool. There's like a cool like shirt for men that's like I think it's only men. Sorry, ladies.
Well, I mean, you can still purchase it.
Right, and still wear it. Yes. But it was like the mountain ranges, like you did all the mountains,
Oh, yeah, that's
Space
cool.
and Splash, all these iconic places. Yeah. So, all right. So that is I think we're good. I mean, I don't think we we recap, but I think we got everything there.
Did you talk about your favorite place to chill?
Oh yeah. Okay. So
I know what mine is.
we did talk. We did talk about.
We
that.
did. But I have actually a spot that I didn't really mention that would be my favorite.
No, I'm saying we didn't talk about it. But I was going to say we
Oh.
talked about the souvenir shop, and that might be my chill spot, but maybe not. Go ahead. What do you got?
There's a spot right outside of, or like right in front of Tomorrowland Speedway,
Okay.
where they're like these planters, you know what I mean, where you
Oh, yeah.
can kind of
Yes, I
sit
know
on
exactly,
those. So not
right.
like benches, but
Yeah.
you can sit there, and if you're lucky enough to not have to go onto Tomorrowland Speedway, you can sit there and have a slushie or
Hating
a
on the
pretzel.
Speedway.
I
Yeah.
have very fond memories of sitting there with your mother, and actually your sister Molly too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think all the boys were on.
Chilling, waiting for us to get off the ride. Me and Harrison or something.
And your dad and Mike
Okay,
and the boys
okay.
were all on the, Tomorrowland Speedway.
Oh, yeah.
So we were sitting there, and people were, walking by, and again,
Yeah.
it was evening.
Yeah.
But, it was just a cool.
It was. It's
part
a
of
neat
the-
spot. It's a
Yeah, because
neat
you can
spot.
sit too, so it was nice to sit there and
Yeah.
just talk and not be on the Speedway.
Yeah. True. Not be on the Speedway. Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I guess my favorite chill spot is that souvenir shop out of Space Mountain. Like, I feel like you could just go in there after you get off the ride. You're like super pumped, and then you could just kind of chill. You get some candy in there too.
Look at a shirt, not buy it.
Look at a shirt, not buy it. Like, I have distinct memories of like that shirt with Mickey like freaking out on Space Mountain with the whole crew behind him on the ride.
I think we should change that the next time.
Yeah, I
we
need
go,
to get a Space Mountain shirt, guys. You're right.
Or I can take a video of you looking at it,
Right,
and then
not buying it. Yeah, I just look at
Where
it.
do you usually? Do you have a
buy it.
place where you usually end up buying shirts? I feel like lately we've been
Mouse
purchasing
gear.
stuff from the resorts though too.
Actually,
that's
we're
been bigger
doing
for
that.
us.
Yeah, because we do spend a lot of time at the resorts. We've changed our way of doing our Disney trips.
Anyways, sorry, I got
But we'll get back to that another
will.
time. Okay, so all right, so gonna go through it. Astro Orbiter is really cool. You got to go on it. Buzz Lightyear, you don't really like super much. You say it's smelly and
It's cool.
you can't see your laser.
I just don't usually make a huge effort,
I agree.
and that's how I justify my low score.
Remember we got stuck,
Yeah, you guys, we got stuck, and I still only got like 4,000.
and I got like I maxed it out.
Yeah,
I
and
maxed out the
I was
points.
like annoyed. This doesn't make sense.
I
JB
definitely made Space
is
Ranger that time.
stoops. Why is he winning this?
Yeah.
But I will say real quick, Harrison on that ride. I mean, going on it with him, he was just like
Yeah.
there's sir. He was
Yeah.
just super.
Oh yeah.
That was awesome.
Oh yeah.
So
And then we have Carousel of Progress, which we both love. There's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Sorry.
that's the best song.
I know it is. Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. One thing I have to say about Laugh Floor before we stop. Before the Laugh Floor was in there was a cool attraction called Timekeeper. I think it was Timekeeper.
Did you prefer that over the lap?
And it was a robot voiced by Robin Williams.
Aw.
And it was really neat. And it was really kind of a cool attraction. It just had screens, and it was like he talked, and then like he brought you through like these screens, and you actually stood in the attraction. Like it was not a sit down. You just walked in.
Okay.
The robot was there. Robin Williams' voice was there. It was comforting.
Very much so.
Yeah. So rest in peace, Robin. We love you. I miss you. But yeah, that was a cool attraction, which is now replaced by, one of his best buddies, Billy Crystal, doing Mike Wazowski.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So then we talked about Stitch's Great Escape. We talked about the history of that attraction, which was much cooler before Stitch. No offense to Stitch. We love Stitch.
No, we do.
Experiment 626 is really neat, especially the Polynesian, where you could see him.
Yes.
Right? Okay. Tomorrowland Speedway, not really that thrilled with it, especially since our son likes Test Track way better. And I mean, you can see.
Yeah,
why.
I mean, not that it's just about us, but I think even if the cars were up to par with regular go-kart standards, it would be better.
Right. And then People Mover, we both love, highly recommend, although now it seems like it's more popular than
So
it has
don't
been.
go there because we would like to go there.
Right. Yes, stop going there. Okay. And then
It's terrible, actually.
Yes. And of course, the iconic Space Mountain, which speaks for itself. It's amazing. And Anthony, our cousin, said that he doesn't go on anymore.
What?
Because he's too old. He says it just bothers him.
Oh.
He's getting too old. Which really, I hope that doesn't happen.
Because the D papers are coming out.
I know. Okay. So, well, that about wraps it up for our Tomorrowland discussion, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, guys, we would love to hear from you. Please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. It's not iTunes anymore. It's Apple Podcasts, which is crazy.
Okay.
But
or just write in and let us know that someone out there is listening.
yeah, someone out there is
Besides
listening.
us.
Yes.
I'd like to get more than 2 downloads.
Yes, nor did. Okay, so so please check us out, Magic in the Midwest podcast at gmail.com. Okay, then we also have our Facebook group, which is
Facebook page.
Facebook page. Sorry, facebook.com/Magic in the Midwest podcast.
Yes, if you want to be and then Instagram, Magic in the Midwest podcast. If you want to be part of the exclusive Facebook group, you have to be a subscriber through Bandcamp.
Yes.
And you might be intrigued to know that we do live videos on there where we
Giveaways.
act really dumb and talk about
right.
Disney, and you can listen because you love to hear about it. And
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So we do have that. So please check us out And then, of course, we do exclusive Attraction Smackdown episodes on Bandcamp.
Right.
So check us out, Magic in the Midwest Podcast.bandcamp.com.
And to become a subscriber, I feel like we just talked about a bunch of different things.
We did. We're throwing all this information.
If you subscribe, that helps us, keep the podcast going because there are some expenses involved. But
Right.
to offset that, we try to provide value to you, which would be those exclusive podcasts.
Yeah.
We're talking about the SmackDown ones, and then also access to that Facebook group
Yeah.
where we do, other videos and Q&As and
Yes.
posts and giveaways and just lots of fun.
Yeah, and I write books, and I give away those signed books.
And gift cards and,
Yeah.
just stuff. Smiles, laugh.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, from the Midwest, see you later.